Get away from her, you bitch!
Oh, shut up, you tart!
Who disrupts my coronation?
Get to the chopper!
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Right then. Hello and welcome once again. We are back, folks. It is HYGS Xmas showing.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
With me as ever, she's Wednesday Night Delight. She continues to talk shite. It is, of course, that bitch, Callie Valentine.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fun-filled episode of Hun, You Geek is Showing.
Ooh, it's fun. It's fun.
Oh, yeah.
Mandatory fun.
Mandatory
With rules.
one, yeah. You will have fun.
Hey, don't go into that accent. You get us booted.
I didn't go that way. I went that way.
I was going to say, Jesus, careful. So, right, on with the show. How have you been?
I've been pretty good, thank you. Went out and did some little Christmas present shopping the other day with the good old Raven Rose out there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. Other than that, I've been at home watching Christmassy stuff. Best way to put it. And doing a bit of gaming. Other than
Nice.
not much really.
I've been a busy boy.
Yes, you have. I've just seen the pictures.
Yes, Spangeran gig went amazingly well on Friday, so that was rather good. Made me very happy boy. Apart from having to wear a suit while playing, that was quite the experience. Very sweaty.
I can imagine. I mean,
yeah.
Look at Lee Evans on stage, and he's tiny compared to you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like two of Lee Evanses.
Yeah, on top of each other in a trench coat.
Yeah. Trying to pretend like they're adults.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, it's been a bloody good week, I must say.
Good. As
As
long as you've had fun, that is the main thing.
Oh, I've had plenty of fun, yes. Right, so it's got to be that time again. It's time for the shout-outs.
Ooh, yes. And we only have one. Maybe someone got lost in the ether. I have found out from Jimmy Clifford recently that he does try to comment, but for some reason they just disappear. I've checked the held section. They're not in there. I just... Computer technology going, no. So, sorry, Jimmy. If you have commented, it's not showing up. I do apologize. But anyway, moving on. It is the man, the myth, the beard, the ginger one, Mr. JK47, the ginger ninja, JK.
Jacob!
And I know this quote from somewhere, but I can't think where. It's one of those, it's been itching in the back of my brain since you commented this. He's more beard now than man.
Oh.
That was my response. I went, I know that. Where's that from? I know that quote. I can't know where it's from.
Is there any more, or is that just it? Is that just all he put?
That was all he put. It's in the little quotation marks. He's more beard now than man. And then he goes, and yes, I am that old.
Oh, bless.
So, I know that reference, but I can't place where it's from. It's been bugging me since 3 days ago at time of recording. 3 days ago when this comment was posted, I was like, I know that. Where is that from? I'm gonna try and figure this one out. If I figure it out, JK, I will reply to your comment.
Or is it he's more machine now than man? Is he having a riff on that?
It could be. It could be a riff on Star Wars.
It could.
JK, if it's Star Wars, please let us know. If not, then don't. If it's not Star Wars, then don't tell us, because I want to figure this out. If it's not Star Wars, I want to figure it out on my own. Anyway. Moving swiftly on with the comments. And damn, did those innuendos escalate quickly or what? Ha ha ha. That tends to happen around here.
Yeah.
Like a war of escalation. One of us will say something, the other one latches onto it. Then it becomes a case of pass the bomb. Who's going to let it blow up first?
Yeah.
Yes,
which has led to some things having to be deleted and not.
There was a one or two comments. I mean, I don't think I could ever show them. I don't even know if that raw footage is even still around anymore because I have to delete a lot of the raw footage to make way for the completed episodes. Peek behind the curtain there. Don't pay no attention to the woman behind the curtain.
Yeah.
That's Oz style. But there was one where as soon as we said it, I hit pause and record. I was like, we can't put that out. We'd be banned in a heartbeat if we dropped that.
Yeah.
If we dropped that joke. So
it was about a hilarious 5 or 10 minutes. But
we had to pause, take a 15, 20-minute break, and then come back to it because it was just like we can't let that go out on YouTube. Maybe if I can find that footage and put it out on a maybe on the group on Facebook, because the group on Facebook's private. Maybe, but I don't even think the Facebook algorithm would be like, they'd be like, no. So that joke may never ever get aired. Ever. Yeah. Sorry, it just can't. Sorry, still nursing sore throat here. I have now finished the series From. Highly recommend it, but damn, I have to wait to 2026 for the next season. Oh, that's a hell of a wait. That's a hell of a wait. Even for back in the day standards, you had to wait like 6 months, 8 months at the most for a new series to come around. But a year and a bit, fuck.
Yeah.
Way to kill the hype train, why don't you? You know?
Yeah.
Like it's tunneling around down the tracks, nice speed, it's picking up fans, and all of a sudden there's just someone went, there goes the rails. Yeah. Kill the hype train, why don't you? Same thing they kind of did with if the rumors are true about X-Men 97, where the next season's not going to come out until like January 2026. It's like, great. Just leave us in suspense for another year and a bit.
Yeah.
Like, that bugged me. If that rumor's true, I don't know if it is, but when I first heard the rumor, I was like, great. By the time it rolls around, I'm going to have to rewatch the season to remember what the fuck happened.
Yes, you are.
Okay, maybe that's their whole ploy. They want to get you hooked in season 2 by going back and watching season 1 again. But, just ickiness of that. Like, oh, we know you want it, but we're going to move it all the way back here. So you keep paying your subscription, which keeps going up. So by the time that comes out, we've made enough of you because you're waiting for that one thing to drop. Anyway, damn, those Decepticon Chuck Taylors, I must have them. I must admit, I've been very, very tempted. As some of those shoes, I'm like, the Starscream ones that I did actually show the picture of in the episode, those were my personal favorites. I was like, Starscream is low-key one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Like on the Decepticon side. And if I was going to have any of the shoes, it would either be the movie one where it's got the Rodimus that lot on it, or just the straight up Starscream ones. It'd be one of those pairs I'd pick personally. Moving on, I would love to collect more, all of them, action figures, but limited space prevents me from doing so. Yes, we've spoken
about the Choir.
Yeah, we've spoken about this many times on the channel where being a collector, you constantly have that battle of space. When you build a shelf, it's what else can you put on there? How can you rearrange it to fit something else in without covering up and making it look just cluttered? Yep. That's why I've got a crap ton in storage. A lot of my Predators are in storage because it's like, as much as I love them, my more loved ones are in that space. It's just how it is. So yeah, that's definitely one thing when you're collecting anything, whether it's figures, video games, board games, cereal boxes, I don't know, whatever. It's constant battle for space. And then goes on to say, awesome vid, have a great week. And we will. And we did.
Thank you. And we did.
There we go. And that's it for the shout out. So,
Wow.
quickly on back to you, Guy.
Wow. Look at what is bare this week. Come on, folks.
All right, it's Christmas. Everyone's busy out shopping and spending and fighting with family that they don't want to see, but they know they have to.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Right, so it's time for the meat of the episode. It's the meat. Oh, no, it's not. Shit. Hold on. I am jumping the gun.
I'm going to T1000 finger waggle at you for that one.
No, it's not. It's time for that age-old question once again. What the fuck have you been watching, man?
Well, this week, thanks to popping out shopping yesterday with Jimmy Clifford, and he popped round for a coffee afterwards. We were listening to Christmas music, and the Here It Is Christmas from wait. It was the Kevin Bacon song from the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Oh, yes.
And Jimmy remarked that he'd never watched it. He hadn't seen it. He wasn't.
That's a big surprise.
He wasn't up to date on Guardians. He'd watched Volume 1 and 2, but not Volume 3. And I was like, well, this is set between Volume 2 and 3, so you'll be all right.
Kel surprise.
Yes. So we sat and watched that yesterday afternoon, and he freaking loved it.
Of course he
Absolutely loved it. I was like, see, this is how a Christmas special should be. And also, the one little theory that we discussed as well is that when Drax saw the GoBot, spoiler alert if you've not watched it, but it's over a year old now. You should have watched it last Christmas.
Yes.
When Drax flips out about seeing the GoBot, and they're like, oh, GoBot's killed his cousin. And I turned to Jim and was like, you do realize that if that's true and GoBots are officially now part of the MCU, by proxy, because the GoBots once met up with the Transformers, that means that the Transformers are canon in the MCU. So could we potentially see a crossover between the MCU, Transformers, and G.I. Joe?
As long as they're not Bayverse, then yeah. I'd like that.
Well,
I'll check it out.
I'm just saying, if you do the math, the logic is there.
It's very convoluted, but it's there.
Well, I mean, if you just look at the history, the GoBots and the Transformers have had a crossover. So, and Transformers have had a crossover with G.I. Joe. So the crossovers are there, the links are there in the chain. They just need to weave it together. And with spoilers, end of Loki season 2 with the whole tree thing. Maybe there's a universe where that happens. Maybe that's a universe where the Marvel heroes, G.I. Joe, GoBots, and Transformers all share the same space.
Maybe.
Saying. The Hasbro-averse. Because they're all owned by fucking Hasbro.
Yeah.
Well, Marvel isn't, but they do the action figures, so get by proxy. But yeah, so we watched that. I watched just this afternoon the season 1 Christmas episode of Arrow. It was the mid-season tipping point, episode 9. Because I remember that episode when it first aired was aired in mid-October before Halloween, and it was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
A Christmas episode before Halloween? What? But yeah, I watched that, and much like we've said about Arrow on more than one occasion, it's better than I remember it to be.
Yes.
So, but and film-wise, I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that I started watching the subspecies movies. I started with the first one about 3 weeks ago. Last weekend, I got through 2, 3, and started number 4. Yeah, so I'm now on the 4th film, and for a Full Moon Pictures production, Charles Band, the guided puppet master, for a low-budget horror movie about vampires. Take it with a pinch of salt with the special effects and stuff, because some of it's stop motion, some of it's brilliant, and other stuff it's just like, really? A plastic skeleton that's on fire? Really? But just enjoy the ride. They're the sort of films where you don't have to think about it. It's switch your brain off, eat the popcorn, drink your Coke, enjoyment kind of film where you don't have to think about the logic of everything that's going on. Just sit back and enjoy the stupid special effects and the stupid cheesy lines. It's pure B movie goodness. If you've never watched them, they're free on Prime. Go check them out. They're sort of late 80s, early 90s,
Mm.
schlock-ish horror, but well worth your time.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what I've been watching. Guy, yourself?
Same as last week.
Arrow.
Arrow. So I've done Arrow. I've caught another episode of Day of the Jackal because I've now caught up with all of them, so now I'm having to wait for weeklies.
Good.
But it continues to astound, and it's going to be in my. It's definitely going to be in my top picks for this year.
Yes, the end of year episode that is fast approaching us.
Don't remind me.
I know.
But yeah, so there's that. Blimey, is there anything else? Is there anything else? I ended up watching old Top Gears today because I was just a bit hungover and, meh.
Why not? Why not?
Oh yeah, old Top Gears.
It's like a bacon sandwich, it's good hangover fuel.
Yes, it is.
Why not?
It's unchallenging viewing. I have been watching a documentary called Lucan. That's on BBC iPlayer. It's about this is real. It's actually, it's not made up or anything. This
Yeah.
is Lord Lucan killed the woman.
Yes.
The woman had an adopted
Lucan, I was
child.
like, Lord Lucan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the woman had adopted a son. So he's found out who she was, and so he wants to know, why Lucan killed his mom.
Oh, as he would.
So he's tracking Lucan down. He's trying to track Lucan down.
Again, as you fucking would do.
Yeah. And it's really good documentary so far.
Oh. May have to check that out.
It's on BBC iPlayer, so you might have a job.
I can. There may be a workaround on that. I'll figure that out.
Lovely. And at some point, I've got to start watching MasterChef Professionals. Because, might be the last time we see Greg Wallace.
Unless he does that crossover with Robin.
Yeah, well, they're just a bunch of touchy slags at the BBC, aren't they? Apparently.
Well, it's been a great run, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on your Geek showing. We're probably going to get cancelled after that one.
Yeah, me and Greg was get in the bin. No, that's
Don't make my editing job any harder than it already is.
No, that's me being Greg was for a bit there.
Oh, Jesus. When I said we need to go topical, this is not what I meant. Moving on, though. Moving on.
Yes.
Moving on. Now it's time for the meat of the episode.
Oh, we're back on MasterChef. All right, okay.
Joke me. Bonk. I walked into it, didn't I? Really?
Yeah, fucking did. Couldn't resist.
Anyway.
Yes.
Guy.
Down the fairway and into the green. Right then, folks. So we decided to have a chat on this episode because I've been having thoughts.
Yes,
I've been having thoughts. I'm thinking about giving up gaming.
Yes, I can understand why.
Yeah, well, the reasons are myriad. For a start, my PS4 is about fucked. The fan is just unbelievably noisy to the point where I can't even enjoy playing a game and watching a Blu-ray is just impossible.
Yeah.
That coupled with I can't afford a PS5.
Yep. I feel you on that one, honey. I really.
Because they're still in the 400 quid range.
Yep. My daughter got one for her birthday before I got one.
Yeah,
that's the first time that's ever happened. Like normally, like my daughter has been a console generation behind me, not because she gets a hand me down, but because she sees me playing like the PS3. Obviously, she wants one. So when they came down in price, she had one. Things like that. So it's like, but yeah, continue.
but add to that, I've not had the PlayStation Network for over what has it got to be 2 years now. Sandy?
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah, about 2 years. I've not had the network because it was a couple of years ago. We just couldn't afford to renew it because we used to play yearly.
Yeah, yeah,
Couldn't afford it one year, so I was like, right, do with that. It's time. It's time is against me. I never get time to bloody play games.
yeah. I'm very much in that same boat with
Mm,
you. Okay, I have been doing a bit more gaming recently, as I said earlier, but that's purely because time of the year,
mm.
weather's not great. I'm skint to shit because it's Christmas. Everyone is. I can't really afford to go out like dinner and drinks and stuff like that with friends. If I'm having a night out, it's round at a friend's house.
Mm.
So like, it's hard.
It's one of those.
Yeah,
I don't get time to bloody game anymore. And
yeah. I've had
before you all
my
start
race.
commenting, you know, yes, before I had Rose, yeah, I had a shitload of time to game.
That's
But
another.
before you all start keyboarding it, I do not regret having my daughter for a single second.
Yeah, yeah. That was one for me. That was the big one for me. Obviously, when you're a teenager, you've got next to no fucking responsibilities other than maybe work or college, right?
Mm,
Depending on, where you fall. So you got a lot more time for gaming. I mean, some of my favorite memories from my teenage years,
mm,
one of my favorites is the day Grand Theft Auto San Andreas came out. My friend bought a copy for the PS2.
yeah.
We sat and played it from start to finish in a single session, 22 hours, right? It's the sort of thing you hear like the guys on Big Bang Theory talk
Mm,
about. It's like, oh, when we had like 48-hour gaming marathons and stuff like that. That was me.
yep.
That was me when I was younger. I can't do that now.
No, I
I
used to
have
book
responsibility.
time off for new Grand Thefts.
Yes,
Time off work.
that's what my friend did. He booked the time off so that the day it came out, he could literally
Mm,
come out of work at 6 o'clock in the morning, pick it up on the way home, come home, put it on, blitz through it.
yep.
22 hours solid, right? And it's things like that that I remember. That there's no way in hell I could do that anymore.
Yeah.
Responsibilities have taken. I don't want to say this in a net. I don't mean this in any negative ways whatsoever. But growing up, becoming a parent,
Mm,
having responsibilities has taken that time away from me. That back then, if I wasn't gaming, it would have just been time sitting around doing not a lot. All
or doing
honesty,
naughty things.
in all honesty, yeah, I could have been one of those teenagers that was out committing crimes and stuff like that. No, I was sat in my bedroom at home completing the latest game that had just come out.
Hmm.
No, but I don't have that no more because,
No.
like you said, time and responsibilities have just got,
Yeah.
gone their own separate ways. And
But it's not that. It's not just that. I'm also not missing it.
yeah, I've noticed that as
That
well.
could be like an indication. I'm 47.
Yeah.
Is it time? Is it time to stop?
I don't think there's ever a specific time where you have
Mm,
to stop gaming by. Because I mean, I've seen like people on streaming services and stuff like that, people who do like video game online and
mm,
stuff. I've seen a wonderful TikTok on TikTok the other day.
okay.
This grandma, a
Mm,
60-year-old grandma playing the new Call of Duty game, getting um trash talk thrown her way,
oh,
giving back just as good as she was fucking getting, if not even fucking better. She was owning these people that were trying to
eh,
disrespect her. And I was like, respect
yeah.
to her for gaming that strong at that age. So I don't think there's an age limit to gaming.
Mm,
I think it's more a personal thing, very much like you. For the last year, I'd say my gaming has gone from sometimes if I had a free day, 8 to 12 hours a day,
mm,
all the way down to some days I don't game at all. You know, um, I always say, oh yeah, I'm going to jump on with my gaming group and party chat.
yeah.
Nine
But
times out of ten, a game is loaded,
chat.
a game's loaded up, but it's on pause. I'm having a coffee and a smoke while we're having a chat.
Yeah.
Then we chat for 2 hours. It's coming up for 11 o'clock, and it's like, oh, I've got work tomorrow. See you later. Okay, good night. No gaming gets done. So
No.
although we're in a game and we're gaming and we're party chatting, we're not actually gaming. So
Yeah, it becomes a social thing.
yeah, and I think it's a personal thing, and it just becomes what for me personally. I know your reasons for wanting to leave gaming. I'm not quite done with gaming because I do when I have the chance, I do still enjoy it.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's that tipping point, isn't
The
it?
thing that makes me and about it is GTA 6.
Yeah, yeah. That is the big one for me that I think is going to be the big push to save up to get myself a PlayStation. You know, it's the big game of this
Yeah,
generation.
well, we've both been waiting. How long have we been waiting?
I mean, from all the trailers and the promos and the leaks and stuff we've heard about it, this sounds like it could be the Grand Theft Auto that we have waited for
Mm.
since the first one. An actual fully realized world where you can do whatever you want. You can be okay, the storyline of it is be a criminal and all that, but
Yeah.
you can be a honest criminal, you know,
Yeah.
or a downright psychopathic killer. And just if you get the same level of interactivity in GTA 6 that you had in Red Dead Redemption 2, where you can go up to shelves and pick up individual items and stuff like that. If they're going to implement stuff like that into this new Grand Theft Auto, it could just be the open world game to kill all open world games. It's like GTA 6, that's it. You don't need to make another open world game. This one's the best one that's ever going to exist. It could be.
Yeah, but that means I'm gonna have to save up, get a PS5, pay for the network again.
That's the issue.
Then when the game comes out, buy the game, which is due when? We don't know, 2026?
December 2026 was the last time I heard anything, but I could be wrong on that. Could be. I haven't followed it. Because I want it so badly, I've tried to keep away from it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the more I see about it, the more I'm like, I need a PS5, I need a PS5. I can't fucking afford one, but I fucking need one. And I don't like having that feeling. So I'd rather stay away from it. And then when it finally does come out and all the videos on YouTube are talking about it, that's when I'll bask in the, okay, yeah, this has convinced me I need a PS5.
But on the other hand, I've got a lot of Blu-rays that I can't watch.
Yeah.
And I'd like to.
I've got a lot of Blu-rays that I don't watch because, like you said earlier, my PS4, it's not giving up, but the fan's always been noisy on that thing. And when you're trying to watch a DVD or a Blu-ray and it spins the disc and it goes, it's like,
yeah, I know, but mine does it permanent.
Yeah,
all the time. And
that's what I mean. Like, yeah, but when
as is, if I put a game on, I have to put subtitles on. You know?
When I'm gaming, if it's gaming from disc, my PlayStation is really, really noisy to where I have to game with a headset. But if it's something that's saved to the PlayStation, it only really gets noisy when it's doing when it's loading something big.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's not too noisy.
I mean, I don't know. What do you think? What do you lot think?
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you think about gaming. I mean, like I said, I don't think there's an age limit. I don't think, it's like, I'm in my 40s, I need to stop gaming. It's just a personal, like, when you've got time, responsibilities, and all the other stuff that life throws at you.
Yeah, because I do have rather a busy life.
Yeah, you kind of have to draw that line of, I've got a free hour. What am I going to do? Am I going to get lost in a video game and then be sat there 4 hours later and I've missed appointments and God knows what else? Because you can get lost in gaming. Time skip happens. You think, oh, 5 minutes. I've done 3 missions. You look at the clock and 2 hours have gone by and you're like, oh no. So I've had that happen. So it's like, I think there just comes a point where, although you might not be a gamer anymore, you might not avidly still play games. I think it's okay to keep hold of your consoles and things like that for where there are those quiet moments where you've got literally nothing else to do. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to boot this one game up that I played 10, 15, 20 years.
Well, that's the thing. I do have the PS3 and the PS2.
Yeah.
But I've not had a chance to play them either.
Exactly. I've got a Nintendo Switch. I can't even remember the last time I switched it on.
Mm.
You know, I don't buy many games for the Switch because out of the three consoles, I say three consoles, are the PS4, the Xbox, and the Nintendo Switch. Their games are the most expensive, even on pre-owned. They're like still like 30 odd quid. And I'm like, for a console that I don't play very often, do I want to spend that much on a game for it? Not particularly.
I think you should flog it.
Well, I've got the Game Boy, NES, and SNES apps on it where you can play old retro games like the Mario games, the Metroid Prime, the Donkey Kong games, all that kind of stuff. So for me, liking retro gaming, that's why I keep that around. Because it's like if I get that itch where I'm like, I want to play a platformer like Mario or something like that, I can just go grab that out of the bedroom because this is again one of the reasons I keep it because it's you take it out the dock, it goes wherever the fuck you want. If I'm up on the sofa or in bed ill and I'm gonna do a bit of gaming to pass the time, I've got my Switch. That's literally the only reason I keep it. It's there for the convenience of it. That if I need to go handheld gaming, like if I'm going to stay over at someone's or I'm not very well, I've got it there. And because it's got, you can have YouTube on it as well. You can watch YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So if I'm on like a long train journey or something like that, I can click the Wi-Fi on, watch a bit of YouTube, kill some time. So, but I've got a phone for that. So, you know what I mean? It's very like, it's there, it's redundant, but it's kind of not. But for retro gaming, I keep my Switch around. For single player gaming, it's definitely my PlayStation. And for multiplayer gaming, I have my Xbox. But even then, like I just said earlier, multiplayer gaming for me at the minute is anything on the ground.
Yeah.
The only game I really do still play online is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Because I spent so much time during COVID when everyone couldn't go anywhere, sinking into the online mode with my group of friends. You know, I'd say easily like good 400-500 hours easy on those characters that I've got. I still go back to it because I like the gameplay loop. And because I turn the ambient music off, I can ride around on horseback in the Old West with my Spotify playlist on.
Nice.
You know, so I can listen to like Johnny Cash and shit like that. Like, so that's about it.
Yeah.
Like, very much like you, gaming for me, considering that it was such a big part of my teen years and early 20s. Once I become a parent, that all changed. Time became less mine and more family. You know, and if I did get time to myself and I did get a new game for Christmas, like one Christmas I got Fable 2. It took me like 3 months to finish that game because I got maybe an hour or two a day on it, if that. And that was usually when it was nap time for Cassie because she was still little.
Yeah.
I was like, well, if she's sleeping, you go and sleep. I can sleep when you wake up. So I'll go on a game for a bit. You know, that's how it was. It was like squeezing it in where I could.
Yeah.
And like I was saying earlier, now with the last couple of weeks where I've not been able to go anywhere because funding and shit, I've gone back to gaming. But, and this is the thing I've noticed, I go back to games that I've played dozens of times. I recently spoke about finishing the Mass Effect trilogy for the time. This 3 days ago, I literally from start to finish went through The Last of Us again. You know, because I enjoy the story. The gameplay's not amazing on The Last of Us, I will say that. But the story's there. The story keeps you going.
Yeah.
And I've just downloaded a couple of more games. I was like, yeah, I haven't played that in a while. I'm going to download that and go through it. Like the Alan Wake remaster. You know, I love the story for that. So I'm going to go through that again. And Mafia 3. I've just started playing that again. And I've noticed more and more, I'm going back to games that are from, I want to say the previous console generation, the PS4 generation. I see all these new games that are coming out, the new Call of Duties and things like that. And I'm just there going, I'm not impressed enough. to be drawn in by new gaming. And even those ones that are sort of cross-gen, they're available on, the current Xbox that I have and the newer Xboxes. I've tried playing some of them, and I don't know, there's just this feeling of, I might as well just flat out say it's corporate greed. You can feel it. You can feel it in the video game. When you log into Call of Duty, they've got this hub thing now where it's different Call of Duties. You can just select and play it from there, right?
Yeah.
And you look at it, and there's so many microtransactions just thrown in your face as soon as you get to the main menu. Battle Pass for the new Black Ops 6 and all this, that, and the other. And they're like, I just want to, when I load a game up, I just want to see the title screen for that game with a press start button. I press that button, it comes up with a menu, it gives me options, new game, all that. I want to click what I want to click. New game, continue, whatever. I don't want to play the fucking game. I don't want to be bombarded with advertisements for accessories that, in the grand scheme of things, don't do anything in the game. They just make your gun look fucking pretty.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sorry, but I don't want that from my games. So I go back to, okay, Mafia 3 has got like some microtransactions for specific DLC, for costumes, for guns, for vehicles, and for story content. I don't mind that so much because you're getting a bit more for your money. New story content and stuff like that is fine. But it doesn't bombard you with it straight away. It's not the first thing you see when you load the game up. It gives you a little bit of time, and it's barely like down in the little corner, like press this button to view downloadable content. It doesn't stick it in your face. And I just feel that more modern gaming is not for me. So very much like you, I feel like my gaming is going to sort of peter off a little bit and not really be something that I do very often anymore. Because the only two games so far that have made me want to get a PlayStation 5 at this point is Grand Theft Auto 6. Got to wait for that one. And Spider-Man 2. Purely because I loved that Insomniac Spider-Man game, and it's sort of follow-up Miles Morales.
Yeah.
It's
a great game.
I did start playing that again recently. I do this thing when it gets to December, any games that have got a Christmassy thing going on, I'll give a play to get me in the mood for Christmas. And Miles Morales is set at Christmas.
Yeah.
It's usually that and Saints Row 4, How the Saints Saved Christmas. I usually play that as well because that is a total parody, absolute fuckfest of a game. And when they do the Christmas theme, it's brilliant. Like they parody It's a Wonderful Life at the end of it. Like your character running down the street, like waving at people and throwing snowballs and stuff. And it's just like, only Saints Row could parody that film in such a beautiful manner. Like, if you can find videos for it on YouTube, go and watch How the Saints Saved Christmas, just like the cutscene stuff. It's fucking hilarious. They keep calling your character, the playable character, a Grinch, and they're like, I don't know what that means. But yeah. So I think my gaming will, much like yourself, slowly not die off, but it'll become that thing that becomes a once in a while treat.
Yeah, I might just.
I only do when I have literally nothing else to do.
I think I might get myself a copy of Civilization Revolution and Guns of the Patriots.
Yeah.
Retire to the spare room, fire PlayStation 3, and get myself a Blu-ray player for downstairs.
You know what? That sounds like a plan. That sounds like an absolute plan.
So there we go, folks. If you got similar experience,
if you've any,
or if you just want to moan at us for doing a bit of a downer of an episode, then
we didn't want this to be a downer of an episode. It was just more a case of, I think
I've got shit on my mind.
I think as both of us are getting older, because I've got a little something to sort of talk about here along these same sort of lines. I think as you get older, it's not a case that you grow out of things. I don't think you ever grow out of something. Like my love of Transformers is still just as strong now as it was when I was a kid. It's not something that I've ever really grown out of. Okay, it's waned here and there, much like the franchise, where there was periods where The only content that was out there was stuff that was already there. There was nothing really new. It wasn't until '07 when the live action films came along that Transformers really got the big boost that has continued kind of up to this point. Okay, the films have dipped in quality, but the action figures have always been on top form. The collectible side of Transformers has always been, getting those G1 characters, ticking those boxes, making collectors excited about Transformers figures again. It did what it needed to do to keep the franchise going. But I think there just comes a time period where, due to either circumstance, responsibilities, other things taking priority, new interests that you didn't really know you had in the first place, new things that come in and take up your time space or your time slot with that thing, or just quite simply the way the world is with the financial crunch and fuck up that we're in right now. There are certain times where you have to either stop or at least put the fucking brakes on for a little bit. And much like Guy with gaming, I've kind of got to that point with collecting. As much as I love all this stuff that I have, and I talked about this with someone recently, as much as I love all of this stuff, if it came down to it, if I had to sell every last figure and collectible items that I owned to keep a roof over my head and food in my belly, I would do it. And there are some collectors out there who couldn't even think of parting with a single piece. They're collectibles. And here's me going, when I had the conversation with my friend, I was talked about getting rid of maybe some of my Predators, and went, but you love those things. I mean, you've got a tattoo of them on your chest. And I was like, yes, but I love having somewhere to live and a full belly more than I do a plastic figure on a shelf. It's just the reality of life. It fucks you over sometimes. So for me at the moment, collecting has just stopped. And it's got to the point where, brutally as honest as I have to be with it, there is so much stuff that I have in storage. I've got a box, and I mean big box like this, full of figures that is marked for sale. I have another box that is quite a few of my Predator figures that aren't on display. And I'm having to be logical, not emotional, about the situation, and be like, I have to keep saying to myself, if it is not on display, why is it still in your collection? Clearly, if it is not, with the limited display space I've got, I have my favorites out on display. They are my favorites that are out. So I don't want to be one of those collectors who's got boxes and boxes and boxes of figures that they're wrapped up in bubble wrap and they're somewhere in storage, and they never part with them because they love them so much. So if you love them as much as you say you do, they'd be out on a display somewhere. And if they're not, they're in a box just accumulating space and dust. So I feel like I have to go through my collection and just go brutally honest. This stuff needs to go, because if it's not on display, there's no point keeping it. As painful as it might be, because there are some figures in my collection that were bought for me by people who are no longer with us. But it's in a box under my bed collecting dust because I don't have anywhere for it to go because it's such a large figure. So am I just holding on to it for sentimental value? Yes. Do I know how much I could get for it? Yes. Could the money that I sold it for keep food in my stomach for better part of 2 weeks? Yes. So that is probably one that would end up getting sold purely because it's like, if it's not on display.
That's it.
So yeah, I think there just comes a time where you have to make the hard decisions when it comes to collecting, gaming, whether there just comes a time where you have to not put it to bed, but go,
pause.
What is best here? Do I
Yeah.
have time for this? Do I have money for this? You know, I tried to get into retro gaming I'd say about 10 years ago. Bought myself a GameCube. Got it off at the Facebook Marketplace. It was going cheap. Someone wanted 50 quid for it with 2 controllers, a memory card, and 2 games. Yeah, 50 quid. I'll have that.
Yeah.
But then I realized why they sold it. Not because it was damaged or anything. The machine worked fine. I went into places like CEX and some retro gaming shops and places like that. And then I saw the price of some of the games that I wanted. The reason why I bought the GameCube for, things like the Zeldas and the Marios and stuff that came out exclusively on the GameCube and have not been released anywhere else.
Yeah.
I saw the price of them and I was like, that's more than a PlayStation 4 game brand new.
Yeah.
Ah, no, fuck that. No. I ended up giving it away to a friend of mine who in return gave me a wonderful Predalien statue.
There you go.
But I gave it to them and I said, look, you're more of a retro gamer than me. You love the GameCube more than I do. You've already got some of your old games that you kept hold of. So you might as well have it. I just gave it away. I spent money on it. I just gave it away. That was the first sign for me that gaming for me is not as important as it used to be.
No.
It's been a slow, long slouch into Bethlehem, but I'm very much with you. Gaming is slowly waning. My collecting, I've not stopped. I do want to continue, but I'm just whittling it down to I'm only buying specific characters from specific lines. And most of those are going to be spot fillers. They're characters that I've needed for a while. So any of the money that I get from selling all the stuff that I'm going to be selling, I've already decided in my own head, I'm going to split it down the middle. Half of it is going to go in my bank to pay for life stuff, whatever's left. I'm going to put that towards buying spot fillers. Characters like Bumblebee, Cup, Jazz for my Autobot shelf. Soundwave, Shockwave, Thundercracker, and Skywarp for my Decepticon shelf. Those characters that I want. That I've already got I've already got other members of the team. I need the rest of them.
Yeah.
Those ones that for me are quintessential characters. I have to have those in the collection because for me it completes that set. All the random ass characters like fucking Sea Spray and Gold Bug variant of Bumblebee. I don't need those.
No.
But yeah. And I think
that'll be about it for us this week.
We do again apologize for just a somber episode tonight. But I think given the time of year, it's time for a little bit of self-reflection.
Yeah.
Because it's right about this time of year people start saying, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? And my go-to normally is something for the collection. If you can afford that, get me a figure that I don't have, or get me something that you start having to realize that, do I need this? Do I need that? Do I want this? That's when you really start calculating stuff. And I just want it to be easy to go, I need this one. If you can't get me this one, then I need this one, or I need this one. Just recently, I had a conversation with a friend about a G.I. Joe figure. They were like, I can't get this one. I was like, yeah, but I've just seen this one for like literally half price. And they're like, oh, fuck it, I'll get you that one then. So, I think Christmas is a time where you just need to realize what you really want and what you're going to be when people offer gifts, what you really want to ask for. And do you want another game that's going to go on your shelf? It's going to sit there for 6 months. You're not going to play it. No, which is why I don't ask people for video games anymore. That used to be my thing every year at Christmas from my ex-partner. What would you like? This game's coming out like early December. Get me for Christmas. The last game I had as a Christmas present was Red Dead Redemption 2 for the Xbox, and that was 6 years ago.
Yeah, so there you go.
That's exactly my point. Like
the evidence is in, folks.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry, this has been a bit of a rambly episode.
Mm.
We didn't want to be somber and, but it's just that time of year. It's the December blues,
It is.
hence the colours, you know. But we,
Hey, enjoy the twinklies behind me, folks.
yes, he's got snowflakes on the go. I've got a blue ghosty, my blue eyeshadow, and my blue nail varnish on the go. So, but yeah, we will be back because this is our mid-season finale.
Yes.
We will be back in February, early February. Not sure on the dates at the minute. We'll work that out closer to the time we always do. But we will be back early February. You will see us again before New Year's End, though, with our
Yes.
Christmas special and our roundup of the year / New Year special.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's pretty much it from us for
Well,
today.
there will be far more boozing and japery and dog.
Oh yes, well the Christmas special there will be presents being opened. There will
Yes, there will.
be alcohol being consumed. I don't give a fuck about the censors and the guidelines. We will be drinking on our Christmas special because it's our little Christmas party. It's the Calico Christmas party.
Whoop, whoop.
And you never know, we may get Mouth of the South Jimmy Clifford to join us. We may. That could be his Christmas present from us. He gets to
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. We shall see, folks. But we will see you soon. And until then, I've been a random man without a plan,
I've been that bitch Calista Valentine.
as ever. And we will see you soon, folks. Take it easy.
Night, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.